Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel on DAX Formula Series. This is my third video. If you haven't watched my previous video, I would recommend to watch the same. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any future contents. Today we are looking at difference between calculated columns and measures. First we look at the definition part. A calculated column is a column that you create in your data model using data analytic expressions. It performs calculations on row by row basis and results are stored in the data model. Calculated columns are typically used when you need to create a new data based on the existing columns, such as combining the text, performing the mathematical operations, or transforming the data. Since the results are stored in the model, they are static and recalculated only when the data is refreshed. Next up, we'll look on the measures. A measure is a dynamic calculation that is performed on your data at the time of the query. Measures are created using DAX and are designed to aggregate the data, providing the summaries or the insights such as total, average, minimum, maximums, or unlike the calculated columns, the measures are not stored in the data model but are computed on fly based on context of the report, filters, and slices. This allows measures to be a highly responsive to the user interactions, providing the real-time calculation based on the current data view. To understand better, we'll look on the examples. Say for example, if you want to calculate a column. So how the calculated column works. So say for example, you have a data which has sales ID, product, quantity, unit price, discount, and date. You want to calculate the total sales happen. So how do you calculate that? So basically you will multiply the quantity with your unit price. So in the first row you can see that we have a 10 quantity and then the each unit price is 5. So 10 into 5 it will be again 50. So like that you calculate. To get a sales you want to create a new column such. So how do you do that? So basically you will as the formula you will go ahead and create that. So once you create a calculated column, so that particular column will be added to your data model. So your initial data model and then added a column. So using the initial data model, creating a new column is called a calculated column. This particular column will be stored with your data model itself, and then this is kind of static one. So this will be refreshed whenever the data is been refreshed. That means the new data has been refreshed. Let's look in the example of measures. Similarly, we are taking the same data model, so which we already calculated the gross sales. Say in the case you want to know what is the total gross sales. How do you calculate that? So you will go ahead and calculate using the sum of the gross sales. So this particular formula which is written here, it will not be go ahead and create a new column or any data model itself. This formula itself stored in the memory. Whenever you use this particular formula, this will calculate the action which is needed. So if you want a total gross sales, you will use this formula in the filter so that you will get the total gross sales. Along with that, you want to know the total gross sales of each product. So again, you use the same formula in the filter with the product, you will get this particular result. So basically what happening is that, so with the measures, this particular expressions what you have written or the formula what you have written, which will not be stored in the data model itself, but the calculated column it will be stored in the data model. But the measures, whenever you want to calculate something, you will use that particular expression or the formula to create a dynamic values. So whenever the data is being changed here, if you use the same formula, so it will calculate it dynamically. So that it will not be a static, it will refresh whenever it's needed. Now we have learnt definitions and the examples of calculated columns and measures. Let's jump into the Power BI and understand better. Now that we are in Power BI, let's first understand how to load the data before jumping into the examples, and also understand what type of data we are using here. So to load the data, you have the data module here. You can choose the get data, and then you can select the type of data which you are extracting. In my case, I'm extracting the Excel workbook, so I'll go ahead and click on that, and then I will select the particular file which I want to extract, and then click on open. It will take some time, and you will see the blue line here, so that is meaning that the data is loading. Once the data is loaded, you will see the number of sheet which is there in the particular Excel file. In my case, I have only one sheet, so I will go ahead and select that. Once you select the particular sheet, you will see the data overview, so that what type of data which is there in the particular sheet. So in my case, I'll just walk you through what is the data which I have. I have sales ID, I have product, I have unit price, quantity, discount, date, region, and category. So looks like it's a electronic appliances furniture. Looks like it is from one of the say Samsung showroom. So it is a kind of sales from the Samsung showroom, and then there are products listed here. These products is being sold at on the particular date, and then what is the unit of price we have sold, quantity, and discount. Once you preview the particular data, you will have option to load, transform, cancel. For now, I'll click on the load. We'll explore the transform later in my videos. Once you click on load, it will take some time if the data is huge. In my case, my data is very small, so that it is been happen very quickly. So once the data is loaded, right now we are in the report view. To view the data, you can go to the table view. Here you will see the same data. In the right hand side, you also see the data section. In that, the sheet 1 is mentioned. The sheet 1 is nothing but the one data which I have loaded. You will see this drop down. Click on the drop down. You will also see the columns name listed. With the column names, you will also see the type of the column. Can you see the category is not been shown any icon? That means this is a string or a character. And you will see the date which also mentioned the date icon, so that it clearly says that this is a date type. And then for the numericals, you will see the numerical icon here. Now that we have learned how to load the data and understand what kind of data which we are using, let's calculate the new column. Say in the particular data, I have unit price and the quantity, and I also have a discount. Right now, my requirement is to understand what is the sales which we made. Say here in the first row, it says that we have sold 25 unit for the gadget A, and the quantity which we have sold, the unit price is 25 and the quantity which we have sold is 10. To get the gross sales, what we need to do? We need to multiply the unit price with the quantity. We'll get to know how much we have gross sales which we have made in the particular date. To do that, I'll click on the new column. Once I click on the new column, so before that, clicking on the new column, make sure that you are in the table tool section. So in that, you can see the new column. Once you click on the new column, you will be taken to the column tool. Here, I'll change the name of the column saying that gross sales. What is the formula? Again I said it is unit price multiplied by quantity. We'll do the same. Once you open the bracket, you will see all the columns which is listed. Say here, if I click on the bracket, you will see all the columns listed here, and then you can select the which one you wanted. So I have selected the unit price. Now I am selecting the quantity. Once you do that, hit enter. It will load and then it will calculate it. Now we have created the calculated columns. So when we gone through the definitions, it says that so it is a row by row calculation. Now you can see that it's been calculated based on the row, and it also said that so you can see that particular column will be added in the data model as that. So you can also see the particular column here. Along with that, in the data it is also been added, and the calculated column will be shown in this particular icon. Now that we have learned how to calculate how to create a calculated column, so let's understand how to create a measure. To create a measure, so you need to go to again a table tool, and then you will see the new measure. If you click on that, you can go ahead and create it. So before creating the particular measure, we'll let know what needs to be created. See, we have gross sales here. I want to know the total gross sales. To do that, what I need to do, I need to calculate each and every rows and its values, and then sum it up. To do that, I'll click on the new measure. Once you click on the new measure, again it will come to the measure tools. In the measure tools, there are a lot of options. So I'll first go ahead and change the name of the particular measure. That I'll say that total gross sales. So what is that? It is a sum of, so sheet 1, so that is our data, and then column would be gross sales. Hit on enter. Once you hit on enter, you can see that the particular measure has been created, total gross sales. But you will not see the particular measures data in the data model. As the definition says, so you will not see any data is computed when you create a measure. So this measure is the formula or the expression which is created and stored in the memory. Whenever you want this particular thing, you can call it in the report view. So, and along with that, you can also see that the measures is been shown in this particular icon. Now that we have learned the difference between the calculated columns and measure, we'll jump on to the report view and see how it can be plotted in there. I'll take any one of the chart. So say for example, I'm taking a bar chart, a stacked column chart, or I'll directly take the table. I have created a table. I wanted to see the particular sales on the region level, the gross sales on the region level. I'll drop the region column here. I have the east, north, south, west, and then if I want a gross sales, I can directly pick and place here. It is saying that what is the gross sales of each region, and it will also, you can also see that the total of the gross sales. But I don't want that to be in the region level. I wanted that to be in the card. So I only wanted to see the total gross sales. So you can change that. Right now I'm using the sum of the gross sales, that is again, so I'm using the gross sales. Instead of that, I'll remove that and I will use the measures. You will see it is giving the same result. However, the particular gross sales is been already calculated and stored in the memory, but however the measures is been calculated whenever I used it. Let us see the another example. To create another chart, I'll click on the blank area here and then I'll click on or drag and drop, or I'll just double click on the particular visuals which I needed. I have selected the stacked bar chart. So and then I wanted to see how our category is performing. So I'll place the category in the y-axis and then I'll place the gross sales in the x-axis. I'll just expand it a little bit to understand better. Now you can see that the type of categories and along with that what is their performance. In this particular visualization we can clearly say that our appliances is performing less and then our better performer would be electronics. With it we have come to the conclusion of the video. In the video we have learned the definition between calculated columns and measures and its example. Along with that we have also learned how to load the data to Power BI, how to create calculated columns and measures. Mainly we have learned the difference between calculated columns and measures. With it we have come to end of this particular video. I will place the GitHub link where the Excel file and the Power BI file used for the tutorial is been saved. If you find this video interesting, please don't forget to hit the like button. And for the future content, please subscribe to my channel. In the next 10 future videos, we'll learn the important DAX formulas and its use case. Until the next video, happy learning.